And I'm absolutely not ready until we get to this point. And now it feels really good. We know there's still a lot of work to do. Yes, we got ahead on Southern Miss and we're able to work on them a bit last week, but it's also the beginning of a week to officially get ready. So we have quite a few newcomers in our program that need to find that routine and that rhythm that I have and try to have throughout the year, and so the players can anticipate and they know what to expect on Monday through Friday through game week. So, offensively, probably, for the most part, that's where there's a lot of change. If you look at, maybe 5-6 guys that are, very important roles that hadn't gone through this routine. Defensively, not as many. Maybe Pop and maybe DJ, depending on whether, how many reps he gets or what goes on. But anyway, so offensively, we've got to make sure everybody's comfortable, including our offensive coordinator. Again, just going through our process and what we do throughout the week, and really the routine and the rhythm that I try to have throughout the week with them. And so, it's a first for some new guys, and we'll get through it, and we're looking forward to playing our first game here at home. Obviously a night game, welcoming Southern Miss, and that's a team that you saw very many signs and flashes, beating some good teams last year, and then they have a lot of newcomers, like most teams. And when you look at the transfer portal, look at the change that they have with their OC and DC, and I want to say, probably as many as 10 impact offensive transfers. You don't know exactly what you're going to get, so we have to be prepared for quite a few things heading into the opener. We've done that. We've worked on things throughout throughout camp. So, we just got to handle things in stride. Nothing ever goes as smooth as you want it to. We have to be able to adapt, make adjustments, and nobody panic here in game one, and make the adjustments throughout the game, and go execute and play good football. I'll open it up for questions.
Questions?
One Tuesday night in camp, you got the guys in the stadium, did the lights and all that. What is that, the new light system, the environment, recruiting, what does that do for you guys, I guess?
Well, I don't think all the lights and the banners were completely done at that point, but we shall see, how that affects recruiting and the environment and everything. I think it was very hard to replicate it exactly on that Tuesday. We did put them on at times so they wouldn't see him for the first time in a game night. But the lights are new as well, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted to get over there. We have some players that are new. I think just playing in the stadium's different. The wind blows differently as far as our punt return, kick returns. Just playing in the open field in the stadium, it's important to do that. And playing at night, practicing at night. I mean, also just getting their body acclimated, to coming in, having meetings, having a long break, very similar to what we do in game week right now. That because school started just today, that we've been on one routine, and so I think just that, coming in, having meetings like we do on a game night, there's always a long break. I've talked to other coaches, I've talked to other people to see if there's things that they do differently that, with the breaks that you have in the afternoon, and looked at, anything we could do. I mean, as you know, we played some very good games at night, and I don't remember any, but I'm sure we probably did. So, I'm sure it goes both ways, so we'll see.
Is Courtland Ford available?
He was not.
Is he in that group of extended absences?
Yes.
Did you previously?
Yes.
Mark, we've talked so much obviously about the fourth OC in as many years, and obviously that's a talk during camp, but now week one, you're, for better or worse, you're used to, dealing with a new guy in that first game. You never know how it's going to go out there on the field till it goes. So have you gotten good with figuring out, okay, here are the hiccups, week one, what are some things to improve on, you know, learning a new guy once you actually get into the game?
Yeah, I think we've really tried to head off all those issues. You know, if we, you know, run into problems, we do have timeouts for a reason. Obviously, we wanna save them for 2-minute situations at the end of half in the games should you need them, but also we wanna make sure we don't waste plays. We have worked the communication, the new communication, you know, over and over again, all the way from spring, all the way through camp. We practiced it, we practiced it live in the stadium. You know, we try to anticipate those things and head them off before they happen. You know, nothing, you know, is ever perfect. We're gonna strive to be, but, you know, we will see. You know, we're gonna go out there with a confidence that, we are gonna be able to operate smoothly. I love the way he operates. I like the way he thinks. I like the way he anticipates his calls. He is in the box, so he can write down his notes and have his thoughts and his ideas handy and at his fingertips. I think it also helps with the communication to be able to see the defense, see the big picture, and possibly adjust at times as well.
Coach, having a new quarterback, you know, especially in the night game, his first game here at Kroger Field under the lights could cause a lot of first game early jitters. What do you hope to see from Brock and how he adapts throughout the first game?
I think just, you know, a big thing that we talk a lot about is make the routine. You know, when with him, just continue to operate smoothly, continue to make good decisions, and continue to make the simple look simple and the routine look routine. If a guy's open, hit him and catch and run and protect the football and do the basics. You know, if we continue to do a lot of little things, big things will happen. And, you know, I think that's an important message with our entire team early.
Mark, you guys have talked about the offensive line taking steps forward this year compared to kind of a couple of years ago. You guys struggled starting off bringing in Coach Warford again. Just where is that group at going into week one and how they progress through camp?
Yeah, I like that group. I feel like we're improving. I don't think, you know, everybody always, you know, wants to continue to build the depth that we're looking for. We have to continue to bring some young guys along that we feel like can help and that will be needed to help at some point this season. I think the additions with Mincy and Farmer have really helped us, and you know, so I feel that presence. I feel the physicality out there. Not perfect and still a work in progress, but I think we're getting better.
Mark, in addition to Jason Patterson, Abba Selm and Cutter Bowley were true freshmen on the depth chart. What have you seen from those two guys?
Yeah, that's one of the guys I was just talking about with offensive line that we're gonna need to help. You know, you look at Malachi's a redshirt freshman and getting better and really working hard, and, you know, we're gonna need him. But Abba is a guy that, you know, is one of those freshmen that takes things very seriously, works very hard, very conscientious, trying to get better each day. You know, when you get close to the ball like that at guard, things happen very fast. It's very difficult to play at a young age, but he's got an opportunity. Hopefully, you know, we can continue to get him reps as the year goes on, get his feet wet. Cutter has been very consistent. You know, we've been very pleased with Gavin and Cutter. Both of them bring, you know, some very good attributes, you know, to the game, to the field, and can do some special things. You know, so we'll see where it goes.
Mark, we talked with Barry on the other day, and he was talking about just, you know, they've had 3 different quarterbacks and 3 different OCs, and it's just a lot of change. How are they connecting with that wide? How's that wide receiver group connecting with Brock? You know, I mean, now that you've seen that transition a couple times for guys like Barry on.
Yeah, I think, you know, very good. You know, Brock is certainly a guy that's in there all the time, always working at it. You know, if you look at, you know, the way we do things now and you know, the turnover of roster, you know, I don't think maybe it's as big of a situation as it was maybe five years ago, you know, if you will, you know, because you're teaching a lot of new guys anyway. And so, and I also think what helps is able to spend more time. I hope that pays dividends. I said that before, and I hope it's true. You know, I think we've spent a lot of time. Our coaches have worked with our players a lot. They've had a lot of meetings. They've had a lot of time. They sacrifice a lot of their time in the summer to spend with our players, preparing them, and hopefully that'll correlate to a smoother transition. I like the way Bush teaches. I feel like the players can pick that up very well. And, you know, not only with Barry Allen and Dane, but you add Jamori and you add Fred. I think two guys that are very important and, you know, very good players that constantly show up.
Is there, do you use the loss to Southern Miss back in 2014? You say, hey, do you try to use that to put people in high alert?
I mean, you know, we always use anything and, you know, just to bring to their attention. I think, you know, I would constantly talk about one year to the next, whether it's, you know, bad streaks or good streaks. You know, it really goes out the window, you know, year to year. You have to go play well in this game. But, you know, I mean, I think, you know, it's important for us to do the things we're talking about and constantly do the little things and just not try to get ahead of ourselves is the big thing that helps.
Secondary, both safety and cornerback, you foresee that?
Just out of confidence in either or.
That's what I was gonna ask. Do you
Yeah.
just foresee that being two units and you're gonna
Just-
play a lot of guys?
Yeah, just those guys can play, you know, the safeties, those three guys are starters, you know, and so, you know, we feel like, you know, very good there. And then, you know, in the backup role at corner and you know, even opposite Maxwell, you know, we gotta continue to evaluate that position.
Mark,
And DJ's not quite been 100% this week as well, this past week, so.
You referred to there the transfers that they have coming in. You know, Southern Miss has put a lot of good players in the league through
Yep.
the years, and the SEC teams can't get all of them. So how would
Yep.
you assess their talent level going into this? Because they're kind of flying below the radar a little bit.
Well, you know, again, very, very good team, very well coached. Will Hall, I don't know him very well, but, you know, we competed against each other. You know, his background, you know, he's got a good, solid background, you know, with some years with Bobby Petrino, you know, and so, you know, I think he was at Louisville maybe 1 year, crossed over, maybe in 17 maybe. But they have 10 new guys, new quarterback, you know, so we'll see. It's hard to assess that until you put it all together and get out there and play. You know, I think most teams will tell you, them and us and everybody, you're worried about yourself, how you execute, how you play, you know, how clean you operate and all that. So, you know, very good. I mean, I know a year ago, you know, great running back in Frank Gore Jr. I happened to be at Miami when his father played at the U. So Frank Gore Jr. was one heck of a player in his own right.
Mark, you guys
Bush
have,
and Brad during camp talked about the benefit of having all those analysts able to coach on the field now. Does that change the game day operation much at this point, or?
Not too much. I think eyes and vision and, you know, not having, you know, I mean, we wanna make sure the coordinators still have the opportunity to do what they need to do. And, in between series, there'll be a lot more communication. There'll be a lot of, you know, iPads, a lot of eyes, you know, to kind of see what's going on and try to educate our players. I think it's a big thing.
Mark, the fan base this year seems really excited, probably the most excited it's been in recent memory. What, if anything, you know, do you guys feel within the building, and how does that help kind of the team going in, knowing that the fan base is really excited and behind them going into the season?
Yeah, I think it helps immensely. You know, we feel that passion and energy, and we certainly feel it in the stadium. We have 8 home games. We want to go deliver. You know, you've heard me say it many times. I feel, you know, a deep obligation to put a team out there that they're proud of. You know, and they're excited about it and want to come watch us. That's a good first step. Now we got to go play well, and you know, we want to do that. It's important to us, you know, to go out there and you know, coaches coach and players play and do the very best we can. But we're excited about it. You know, can't get too far ahead of ourselves. You know, that's the big thing. Everybody always wants to talk about the schedule, and it's like, hey, let's go worry about Southern Miss. To your point, you know, a few years back, you know, they took care of us, you know, and there were some lessons in that game that I carried with me. You know, you've heard me talk about scars and, you know, calls and plays and things that happen. I mean, I remember very exactly what happened at the end of that half. I remember exactly the call we made. I remember exactly the mistakes I made. You know what I mean? And you know, you're thinking they're running out the clock. I let a call go. I should have called timeout and regrouped. You know, that's on me. And but That was a long time ago, but I don't forget.
Mark, you had a few guys injured on that defensive line, and Brad said that early in this preseason, he said, you never want that to happen, but if it could happen to a group, that's where the depth that it could happen. And how are those guys doing, of course, but outside of Dion and Keyshawn, those kind of guys, how are the guys behind them doing as you need depth there?
Yeah, I mean, that's a deep group, you know, with Trayvon and Ox and Dion and, you know, all of them, have played very well. Khalil is a guy we have a ton of, confidence in. Keyshawn's played very well, and, you know, we gotta get a guy like Kendrick Gilbert, we gotta get him, you know, to continue to grow, to continue to get better, bigger, stronger, be able to handle the SEC reps that are coming down the stretch. So, you know, I think it's always a work in progress developing guys, and you've heard us talk about it before. We have a unit on defense where there's a ton of experience, and then we have some youngsters that we have to put on.
Mark, in this portal era where you can't necessarily count on guys being here for 5 years anymore, does that affect your redshirt decisions
Yes.
at all? Like, are guys ready to go on special teams, you just throw them out there?
Absolutely. Yeah, it does. It just, if they can help us, they're gonna help us. If they could play some special teams, you know, there's some, you know, there's a lot more accountability there than even they understand. You know, the way we practice, talk about it, the way we go in meetings, the intensity of Coach Boulware, what, you know, how he goes about special teams. I mean, that's some serious business, and we let nothing slide. And so those players understand it, but I think, you know, media covering it, fans, I mean, if they can help us, they're gonna help us. And, there's a lot of, young athletes that can run, and we need them to continue to grow up and play. And then they're, you know, that's the first step, you know, with them is being accountable and helping us on special teams. If, you know, if they can't do little things, they can't do big things. And, you know, and we talk about that all the time, and a little thing might be the backside of kickoff return, or finishing a block, or doing some things that nobody sees. But if you execute it, you do your job, then big things may have happened, you know, so, you know, we'll harp on that, and we'll continue to bring those guys home.